What is up, guys? Back here, finally doing another comic update video. I don't think I've done one since like fucking November. I think that was the last one. Yeah, around there. Yeah, it's been a fucking minute. And sad part, October. Damn. Sad part is I haven't gotten much further in most stuff, but do get some advancements in some stuff. So let's start off with our first comic. I finished Daredevil Cold Day in Hell, which is the old man Matt Murdock story that's been happening. It was just a 3-issue miniseries, and I finished it while I was on vacation. And let's get right into that one. So we get talked about more of the history and like what's happened in this world with Bullseye, and we learned that at one point he got this version of arthritis. He just like shook a lot, so he couldn't really aim properly. And obviously, with Bullseye, that's a huge issue. That's his main focus and power, is being able to hit every shot. Um, then we get introduced to this new kind of hero. She's almost, I don't know how to explain her. She's almost, I don't want to say sunspot because that's not right, but like, she emits a high glow, and right now she doesn't really know her powers that well, so she's kind of just figuring them out. And they accidentally went off, and so they went off, blinded a bunch of people around her. It was a whole thing. Daredevil went and checked it out, tried finding her. Lo and behold, Bullseye got her. So Bullseye has her chained up, trying to like do research on her, trying to figure out her whole deal and like how to use her and stuff. Um, so then we get to see Daredevil go see an old friend. He goes and see Foggy. So he goes to see Foggy. Foggy kind of just says, "We haven't seen each other in a long while. It's great seeing you." Then tries to convince him to not be Daredevil, being like, "You're old. You can't do this anymore. You're gonna get yourself killed." And so Daredevil has Foggy help him look into this whole thing with Steve Rogers' death. And so Foggy goes, looks into that. Daredevil goes to hunt down these people, try and get some information out of them. He's fighting his. I think I described in the last one. His powers go like in and out. So like every once in a while he'll just stop having powers and he can't really fight that well and stuff. So that'll happen, and then so what ended up happening is he starts like going in and out of the fight. So he like gets hit sometimes. He starts losing, and then a dude gets an Ninja Star to the hand before he can shoot Daredevil, and then gets Ninja Star straight in his fucking head and dies. And then we get shown Elektra, which she's young, and I remember them talking about it. I just don't remember why, but she was young, whatever. She shows up, and Daredevil is trying to say, "Hey, don't kill him. I need him. We're not supposed to be killing." And Elektra knocks Daredevil out, lets the dude run, or kills the one dude, lets the other dude run, and Daredevil gets up being like, "Hey, I needed him. What are you doing?" And Elektra says, "Come on, let's team up. We're so good together." And Daredevil's like having an inner monologue of, "Yeah, we are good together, but not worth it." Um, so then we get to see Foggy talking to Matt about the detective work. He kind of talks him through what happened and what he thinks is happening. Then we get shown that Bullseye had a mech suit for when he started getting the shakes. For when he like couldn't fight, so it would help him, so he could still do his evil shit. But Punisher is chained up in Bullseye's like underground lair, whatever we want to call it, and he, I shit you not, gets out of the chains, beats up a couple guards, gets into the mech suit, and just starts going fucking nuts. So Punisher does that, kills all the, or takes out all the henchmen, saves the new hero. Bullseye calls Matt out on a rooftop over like the generic like New York Times Square, every monitor's taken over. Calling out Matt, being like, "Hey, we gotta finish this. We need to have one last fight. Let's do this." Matt shows up, and they're fighting, going back into how they used to fight, and it's going great. Or not great, but it's cool as fuck. And then Punisher shows up. He goes to attack Bullseye. Bullseye electrocutes him out of the mech suit, so the mech suit stops working. And then Punisher jumps out, freaking bites Bullseye's nose clean fucking off. And then Bullseye throws him off, Matt grabs him, hugging him, telling Frank, stop, don't kill him. And we get a flashback of Punisher and Daredevil fighting Kingpin, and Kingpin says, don't let him kill me. Or stop him from killing me, something along those lines. And then Daredevil just says no, and Punisher shoots him. So in this universe, Kingpin did actually die, which is crazy. And then Bullseye has this detonator thing to set off chemicals around them, and Matt tackles him off the rooftop. They fall into the top of a car. Bullseye drops the detonator. It falls like over in the street, whatever. They're on top of each other. Daredevil says, I won, or stop this, whatever. Bullseye spits a fucking tooth out, bounces it like off a camera, lamp post, and then hits the detonator, and it goes off. And right before it goes off, he says Bullseye, which is assumed to be his like last breath. And so then the girl uses her powers to kind of get rid of the smoke, let everyone understand what's happening. And that's kind of the last we see. I assume Bullseye and Matt both kind of died. Punisher, no way he didn't fucking die. But that's kind of where I assume that happened, and then that's kind of the end of the series. I kind of wish we got more. I kind of want them to continue it, but I know they probably won't, which is understandable. It's just kind of annoying, but I get it. It's a limited series. No big deal. Okay, so let's move on to the Ultimates. So we're going to start off talking about Ultimate 17. So in this, Doom is shown testing on different subjects, humans, mutants, rats. He's trying to give them the powers of the Fantastic Four, because he knows the multiverse, so he can see into different realities where the Fantastic Four existed. He wants them back, seeing that Reed is so happy, and that the world uses them and needs them. He's shown testing on them. We get to see some flashbacks with the Maker of it getting forced into Reed. You're not Reed Richards, you are Doom. And that kind of shows why he freaks out in one issue where Tony calls him Reed, and he's like, don't call me that, you address me as Doom and only Doom. And so we get to see the reasoning for that. And then at the end of it, or towards the end, we get to see him and Ant-Man talking, and he's like, I don't know if we're doing any good. I'm considering leaving the Ultimates. And Ant-Man's like, I think that every single day. I don't know how much good we're actually doing. And that kind of stuff. And then we get to see 4 rats at the end have all the powers of the Fantastic Four, and they didn't die. So, means something is getting headway here. And then in Ultimates 18, we get to see Iron Lad puts out a super long-winded message over the course of the whole comic. Showing that the rebellion needs to rise up against the World Council. I don't remember what they're called, the Makers people, basically. That they need to stand up and fight back finally, and this is the time, explaining that they're not villains, they're not what the media made them out to be, and just that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the last Ultimates I read right now. I have 19, like, right here, so I gotta read that, and see where we keep going, and see how it goes with, going up to the end, whatever. And then, speaking of Ultimate Universe, let's go on to Ultimate Hawkeye. So, Ultimate Hawkeye is just a one-shot of the Ultimate version of Hawkeye, which is the Native American kid. And so he's, like, hunting down Roxxon, and I think it's because he had something to do with his mother's death, who, like, was previously Hawkeye, or something along those lines. I didn't really fully understand, but that's kind of what I got. But he gets captured, and he gets put into this arena, and Medusa shows up. Don't know from fucking where. And she says he has to fight someone to the death, or she will kill their family. And it ends up being Ronan. Like, original Hawkeye. So, and at the beginning, we got to see a panel of Hawkeye, like, not wanting his powers. He's one of the examples of he didn't take it on. But he basically fights him as being like, I don't want to kill you, let's figure this out, we'll just take her out. And then Hawkeye wins, and And Medusa goes down there, and she's like, either you kill him or I kill him. Either way, his blood's on your hands. And he says, I won't do it. And he kills Clint Barton, or she kills Clint Barton, and says his blood is on your hands. And that's kind of the end of the comics. So we kind of get to see Hawkeye have to deal with getting a kill, and it's ironic that he kills actual Hawkeye. And then keep going on with the Ultimate Universe. Let's do Ultimate Wolverine. So I only got one more issue of Ultimate Wolverine read, just because I've just had so much going on. But basically, Ultimate Wolverine and the Ultimate X-Men basically are going to do this mission, going after the Rasputins, and basically he's on the phone with Sabretooth after he took the kids and ran, and a Sentinel shows up, and him and a bunch of armed forces from the Rasputin Empire show up. And basically what ends up happening is they drop basically like a nuke, and it kills all the other, like, basically X-Men, other than Wolverine, obviously, and he's sitting there mourning. And then you get to see a little bit of the rebellion in Russia, and that gets teased for the next book. Okay, guys, well, that's about it for the Marvel side of the comic update. I'm gonna talk about, I have it right here. I finished this graphic novel, Captain America: Symbol of Truth. It's Sam Wilson's Cap. And it's just a quick, like, 6-7 issue graphic novel. I kind of want to read the rest of it, but I'll probably make that its own video. I really liked it, though. I haven't read much of Sam's Cap, so it was pretty good, though. I liked it. But yeah, that'll be its own video. Keep on the lookout. I'm gonna do DC comic recap. I'm actually gonna record that, like, soon. Hopefully get that out in a decent, timely manner. I'm gonna keep reading comics. I have a big ass pile behind me. Like, I would show you, but no. A big ass pile behind me to start reading. I still gotta get into DCKO. I've read like one issue that's a tie-in, but other than that, I haven't read much of it. I gotta get caught up on that. Ultimate Endgame is coming in. Ultimate Wolverine obviously being continued. For Marvel, I got Venom, Black, White, and Blood, Daredevil and Punisher. That's a new series that's gonna come out soon. I'm excited to read that. Spider-Man 94. I'm excited to read that. It's the Spider-Man animated show continuing in comics. So, pumped for that. Wait. What? Hold on. Let's talk about Batman Deadpool. Okay. So, Batman Deadpool, this one's written by Marvel. So Deadpool's more the headliner. And the last one I talked about, I think I talked about Deadpool, Batman. If not, here's a quick synopsis. So basically there's like 5 stories in it. I can talk about the other ones at some other point if I haven't already. But basically Deadpool's hired by Joker to be a mercenary. Batman goes and messes with Deadpool and Joker's psychology and is like, you know what, Deadpool might be a better archenemy, and Joker freaks out, turning him to fight Deadpool. They fight. Deadpool tries to be Batman's partner, basically, and then it's done. It just kind of cuts, which is cool. I'm fine with it. And then in this one, Deadpool's the head, like the head of the duo. So he's breaking the fourth wall, being Deadpool. Batman shows up, and Deadpool, there's one part in it, Deadpool breaks the fourth wall, and Batman just keeps going about it like it's normal. Kind of like he sort of understands what's happening, but can't do it. Kind of that sort of thing. So that part is pretty good. It's a pretty normal Deadpool story. It's nothing, like, too crazy. Batman almost dies in it, gets put in the Lazarus. Oh, yeah, that's right. I just looked. Okay, so Batman, like, dies, gets put in the Lazarus pit, and becomes fucking Logan Wayne, which I think his name is Darkclaw. I think that's his name. But that part's pretty cool. Fights Deadpool, so we get to see that kind of fight, which is pretty dope. I haven't read Darkhawk. It's not Dark Claw. Dark Claw before. I haven't read that, so like getting to see that was pretty cool and everything. But there's Batman Deadpool story. Sorry, I'm actively looking through this. Oh yeah, and the villain they're fighting in is Cassandra Nova, so another multiverse threat kind of thing, which they end up beating her, and it's pretty cool. We get to see Batman and Deadpool basically do a fusion dance. So that part's cool. We get to see the DC universe and Marvel universe kind of put together as space entities and almost like kiss, but then they don't. It's a very Deadpool story. And then we get a quick story, Doctor Strange and Constantine, which was pretty good. We get Harley Quinn and Hulk. That one was pretty good. Oh, Ms. Marvel and Static Shock was pretty good. But my favorite story, other than Lobo combined with like Wolverine, that was a cool story. My favorite story out of this, though, even over the Batman and Deadpool one, Nightwing and X-23. That story is really good. You get to kind of see the proteges of Batman and Wolverine interact, and you even get to see Barbara Gordon in there, and then X-23's girlfriend, which is cool. That was probably my favorite one. That one was pretty. Either that one or the Green Arrow and Daredevil from the first one. Those were both pretty cool. Like that was pretty dope. Okay, now that's actually the end of the video. We're gonna cut it there. Be on the lookout. South Park series is almost done. DC comic update. I'm gonna do a quick video and just post it. It's like gonna be a 5-minute thing of just explaining what's coming up. So check that out. That'll come out probably before this. So it might be a little meta weird kind of seeing that one after this, or this one after that. But gonna do that. I'm excited. Got some projects I want to talk about. It's gonna be a good time. Look forward to seeing you guys on the rest of the channel and provide any feedback if there's anything you think I could be doing better. Appreciate it.